In this video tutorial, we're going to demonstrate how to use the Touch7 color palettes. So we're going to focus today just on using Illustrator. It's the same application for InDesign. It's drag and drop, so we don't need to show you in two programs. Illustrator is probably the more complicated for people, but it's really easy to use our tools. So I'm on the FreePick website here, and I'm using FreePick. We do have a paid subscription with them, but you can get access to lots of free images. And I'm going to use this one here. It's just an Illustrator file, I believe. I'm going to download that to my computer and do this in real time to show you how the tools work. So there's no conning you here. It's just trying to show you the ease and use of the tools. So hopefully you've already watched our video on the color charts and swatch books and what you get with the system and what you should be outputting. So we're going to assume that you have printed out the swatch book or the color charts or the shade cards, and that is what you pick the colors from. As mentioned in that video tutorial, every colour in the swatch book or the colour charts has a unique colour name, and that's what we're going to be designing with today. So let's get started. Let's go to download that file to our computer. There we go, it's just downloaded. And let's take this AI file, drag that into Illustrator. Now the first time working with this file, so this is a stock library, so typically most stock library files are RGB, so always working in CMYK mode because we're working with a CMYK based color system. You can see there they'll instantly flatten down a bit. We always recommend working with overprint preview switched on. We use overprint when we're working with our colors. Some people have asked why we don't use multiply, which is an Adobe transparency setting down in here, multiply. And the reason being is that not all RIPs and DFEs handle Adobe transparency correctly. Some of them have some notorious issues whereby you'll send your file down and half of your job disappears. Things will come out different colors, it'll change. Really weird, crazy things. So we've learned over the years to stick with using overprint, which is a basic default setting. When you set text, black text to overprint, that's the type of formula we're using with our colors. So we're pre-building all of our colors ready for you. So all you have to do is go to the window menu. And we're going to assume that you've actually installed the palette. So logically, if you haven't installed them, please do run the installer, install the palettes. So we're going to be working with graphic style libraries. And it's not to be confused with graphic styles. The graphic styles shows you just the styles of graphics in that document. We're working with a library of colors, so we need to be down here in graphic style libraries. Then go down to Touch7 Neon Color System, and you will see there are two folders, one for Touch7 Pure, which as we described in our other video tutorial about the swatch books, and it's a pure based neon system using just neon cyan, neon pink, neon yellow. And then Touch7 Primary, which is what most other people will be using. Three different swatch books, one for neon cyan, one for neon pink, and one for neon yellow. And as the name suggests, it's primary colors here. So we're using the primary inks on the press. And as far as most people should be aware, primary inks are your CMYK. They're your primaries, CMY predominantly. So we're using CMY in combinations with these inks. So if you've only got a pink on your press, just output the swatch books for the pink and only use the color palettes for the pink. So today we're going to pick out some colors. We're going to work on the Neon Pink SCR guide. So the palette of colors, the very first time you open this up, it will look a little bit like that. But not much use if you can't really see the names. So we always recommend to switch it to large list view. And we also recommend switching on persistent. Persistent means basically if you quit from Illustrator, the next time you open it up, the palette will look the same and it won't reset itself. So you can see here all of the colors from our swatch book, all in that chromatic and monochromatic color space, and they're all pre-built for you. So all you have to do is decide what colors you want to use. So for example, number 70. So I'm going to drag that over here, and that's added that number 70. Now because these elements here are usually done in a certain style. Let's try and see if we can interrogate what's going on here. Yeah, you've got opacity in there set to like 25%. It's honoring that information. So we've dragged it into that color in the background. It's added in that pink separation for us. So let's check it. Yep, it's added in the Touch7 Neon Pink. Turn off the CMY and you see it's automatically built the correct color value in there for you. And I just add on the yellow, and we add on the magenta, the cyan, and there we go. So really easy, drag and drop. So let's just go back to where we were. I'm going to close down my palette. Yeah, there it is. So all I need to do now is decide what colours I want to work with. So I'm going to change a few of these because let's do some of the obvious ones, like let's make this one over here. Okay, that pink, that's worked. Let's do some slightly different colours. Let's do a purple up here and a bit more of a pale colour here, not so fluorescent, but again, it's not all about getting bright punchy colours. You can get subtle pastel shades, deep saturated colours. So that's the SCR guide. Maybe I also want to use some from the overprint guide. So the overprint guide, and this is going to open up, there we go, like I said, all those little icons. So switch it to large list and persistent. This is where we get the more deeper saturated colours. So I'm going to use, for example, this one over here. Grab that one, put it in here. Okay, so I've added a few colours. Maybe I want to go back to my SCR guide and use some of the lighter shades on this one. So I think you get the idea of how easy the tools are to use. It's literally just a case of pick your colours from your swatch book, add them to your file, save the document and send it out to print. So you don't have to type colour values up, it's all done for you. And it's the same process for working with InDesign as it is for working inside Illustrator. You just literally drag and drop, or you can, if you want to, you can do it the other way. You could go in here and pick up an individual element and then click on it. So click and apply, same thing applies. Okay, so we've just done that in a matter of seconds. Let's just take a look at the separation preview. So turn off our CMYK. You can see all of the elements we've done. So you can see all different tint levels, which is why you need to have proper linearization on your press to make sure that your tints come out correctly. Turn off the pink and you can see how all that colour is created. And like I said, it's honoured all those different settings, all these transparency settings in these little swirls, which is done in this instance. It'll be a white colour set to 25%. It's knocking it back, so it's taking that into consideration. With that in mind, if you were to take something like this one here and grab it onto there, it is going to reapply that style. So just be mindful, obviously, that we can only make things as easy as possible if the design is easy. The more complicated the design, you might find that you might need to ungroup certain elements. Sometimes a lot of grouped items might have like text in there. So at the moment this is all outlines. If you had text as well as vector in a group, you might have to ungroup it first before you do your drag and drop. But that's how we work with the system. Very simple, very easy. Hopefully you'll be able to create some wonderful masterpieces out of your neon fluorescent inks. Like I said, only output the colours you've got on your press. So off you go. Hope you have a great time with these tools. If you have any questions or concerns, check out our support videos inside the members area. Also, we have the FAQ section on the website, and you can always drop us an email at support@touch7.co.